Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome to So You Think You're Awake with Michael Sheridan.
Hi, welcome to So You Think You're Awake, the show about transformation through dream interpretation. I'm Michael Sheridan. You know, we are all born with the potential to be magnificent at something, but just like the hero in a movie, we have to overcome an obstacle before we can realize our potential and become the hero that we really are. On this show, through analyzing your dreams, I reveal your potential and the obstacles you need to overcome. I'm very specific. I tell you the magic power you have, what makes you magnificent, and the bumps in life that are holding you back. Psst. These bumps are the obstacles. They are not in the way, they are the way. If you want to get in on the action, go to dream-analysis.com/kknw, fill in the form and submit your dream to the show. That's it. That's all you have to do. For some, I will ask if you want to come on air to have your dream analysed in real time. You get a bonus private session with me if you do. If you're interested in that, the steps are the same. Go to dream-analysis.com/kknw, fill in the form and submit your dream to the show. Some of you will not want to send a dream, but rather just listen to the show. I understand. You need your head examined, but I understand. Well, I've got something for you too. You can interpret your own dreams by using my dictionary. Go to dream-analysis.com and enter your email address to receive my dictionary with thousands of entries. It's taken me decades to compile the true meaning of those symbols, and you get it for free. Now, let's have a look at some dreams. The first one this week comes from Karen. In fact, it's 3 little dreams, and we'll take them in order. Very short. The first one is there's a wooden dining table. Displayed on its edge are 2 rows of large, round, shiny, silvery coins in mint condition, but unrecognizable in currency. The first row had 5 coins, and the second row had 6. Well, this is about your psychic gift, and that's given by the colour silver, the colour of the moon. The moon is a light in the dark. Anything that's a light in the dark indicates that you have this psychic ability. And the psychic ability is an ability to communicate with your higher self. It's quite often misrepresented by people with other abilities. So I'm just letting you know, specifically I'm talking about an ability to communicate with your higher self. And it works most of the time just through feeling. There's no other entity involved. You're not talking to other spirits, so it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like you're getting this information. Anyway, in your case, Karen, you don't identify or recognize the value in your psychic gift, and that's given by the fact that you don't recognize the currency or any currency. And developing and displaying this gift is what's on the table for you, because you say they were displayed on the table edge. And anything that's on the table in a dream is what's up for you and what you need to do. So you need to get to the stage where you can display this gift, use this psychic gift in reality. Now let's look at the next tiny dream, and we'll see how that fits in with it too, using different symbols. She says, I am sitting at a cafe table looking at a psychic shopfront embellished with purple curtains. I'm keen to go in, but I am with family. Okay, so we have the word psychic specifically said right there. And a shopfront is indicates then, of course, that this is something that you need to be upfront with, and you need to make your money at doing this. Really, it's a commercial enterprise. A shop is a commercial enterprise. It doesn't always mean this in dreams, but in your case, it does. It's saying this is what you need to do. Basically, open a storefront and do this for a living. Now we have a little bit more, because you say it's embellished with purple curtains, and that's really good. Purple is the color of the crown chakra, and in dreams it symbolizes spiritual leadership ability. So you've got a spiritual leadership ability and a psychic ability, and you use the two together, working in harmony to help the clients that you're going to work with. Let's see, what are my notes here? This is how you're to make your money selling your gift. Yeah, already got that. So the third little dream, again, very short. She says, in the dream following the wooden dining table, the table was completely full of food, piled high. I was asked to contribute oranges, but at the market they were in short supply. So I chose the best out of the box. Short supply, I told the host as I handed them over sheepishly, not wanting to disappoint or be judged by him or others who had clearly brought quality goods in abundance. So this gives us a clue as to why the dreamer isn't doing this. My notes here are anyway, Being judged is what holds you back. You judge that what you are bringing to the table is not good enough, and because that's what you do in the dream. So you don't like being judged. So that's your obstacle. Like I was saying earlier, we all have something we need to overcome, but we always think, oh, well, I'd be great at this only for this issue. But that issue is the obstacle. That's your hero's journey. That's what you have to deal with. And it's not that it's in the way, it is the way for you to really unlock your true potential. And remember the number of coins. That's going to give us a clue as to when you need to go back to. So you said they're 5 or 6. So it's gone back to the age 5 or 6 for you. So this sense of being judged is going to come from way, way back. And it's because it comes from childhood. And anything that happens in childhood is usually indelibly marked on us. And we have to really do a lot of work to clear it. The dining table also is a place where we share with family. So this being judged is a family thing, because you said in one of the dreams that you didn't want to go into the psychic store because you were with your family. So it's family that holds you back. Well, really, you hold yourself back and blame your family. And then the last thing is the wood and the oranges are both indicate digestive system issues, but not anything big. But you said that you have lots and lots and lots of dreams with wooden tables. And so dreams always have several layers. We can look at many layers in any dream. So I'm just pointing that one out because that's why you always pick the wooden tables. So it's an interesting dream, and it's very positive because it tells you what you need to do. So I wrote to Karen and I asked her, what way did I put this? I said, basically, have you got an issue about being judged by your family? And I said that because it shows that's how you hold yourself back. And she wrote back and said, I am holding back because I don't want to be ridiculed or ostracized. I've been called all sorts of things ever since I can remember, so I am sensitive to that and the impact it has on my immediate family, including my 2 young adult kids. I have been the source of many sarcastic jokes too. I suppose I'm not being me, at the risk of failure and more ridicule. So you're very aware of it, Karen. And of course, like I said before, this is where the growth in your life would come from, working on these issues. And that's what you have to do. So you have to, instead of ignoring this and hiding your light, you work on the issues that cause you to feel this way, eliminate those, and that's entirely possible. I do it with people all the time. And once that's done, then these 2 other abilities will just start shining on their own. And maybe I'll say a little bit about that later on, but that's our first dream. And here we have one from Euro. He says, Jackie, my wife, was sitting on a book. I told her, do you know that you are sitting on an unusual book? It's not like any other regular book. It is longer and wider, almost like an album. You need to get off. Let me show you the book. Then she gets off the book and I take it in my hands and show it to her. Okay, so everything in a dream is you. So the wife in the dream also represents you, but your female side. So it means that it's not her that's sitting on a book. It's you that is sitting on a book. You're meant to be writing a book. And you sent dreams into the show years ago, and I told you the same thing. So I would love to see your book in Amazon or in a bookshop, but you haven't finished it. And I know you haven't finished it because you have this dream. So how much of it have you got done? And how much did you do last week? You get where I'm going with this. We all have something that we're able to do and we're meant to do. We come here with a purpose in life. Your purpose in life is to write this unusual book. And it's a bigger thing than you expect, because in the dream you point out how unusual the book is and how that it's longer and wider. So you're thinking, even though you know you're meant to write a book, you're thinking it's not a big deal. But the dream is saying, no, look, this book is really, really big. It's really important. Now, here's the thing. It's super important for you. It doesn't matter what that book means to anyone else. Of course, it's going to mean a lot. But from your perspective, it's what it means to you and how it's going to help you grow is what's important. So let me know when you've written the next chapter. Now we have another dream from Rowley. And his is very, very straightforward. He says, I had this dream more than 20 years ago. I was in a room with a friend. As I looked through the window, I saw a huge offshore oil rig floating in the air over the city. Gradually, it landed on a street and gently tilted over by the side. From where I was sitting, I could hear the sound of the generator on the rig. So it's a very easy one. The generator and the oil rig, they both mean the same thing. They both say that the dreamer has a hands-on healing ability, not to be mixed up with other things. Spiritual healing and hands-on healing are the same thing, but Reiki and other means like bioenergy, they're all a little bit different. With spiritual healing, you channel energy through your body. You have access to this powerful energy, life-giving force. You channel it through your body, typically out through your hands and into your client. And that's why the oil rig, because it's a source of power, and the generator is another source of power, they both mean that you're able to channel this power and heal your clients. And I wrote to Rowley because he said it was 20 years ago. I thought, okay, what has he done with this gift? And asked him that. And he said, thanks for pointing it out. I will say that your interpretation is more of a confirmation to me. At various times, I've had dreams related to gold necklace, powerful cars, coal deposits, gas cylinders, and he says a few others. But you can see these are all power sources he's talking about. Gold is the color of the sun, which is why that symbolizes a power source. A gold necklace means that it's a karmic obligation. It's something you're tied to do because of the chain of the gold. A coal deposit is another symbol for power, and a gas cylinder another one, and so on. So he's got all of these. And he said, I never really understood their meaning until now. I met a pastor last year, though, who told me I have a call on my life that includes healing. So the interpretation from you and your book is a confirmation. Honestly, I have not really done much with this gift because I didn't know. Well, it's never too late. And you know for a year now. You're still here and you're still alive, so do it. I know it takes courage, but it is what you came here to do. Also, in my in-person classes, I teach people how to do this because it's one of the easiest things to teach, and it takes about 5 minutes. There's always a spirit involved with this particular ability, and all I do is I watch, see the spirit in the room, guide the person through getting into the right state and accepting that connection from the spirit that does the healing. Always a gigantic, huge spirit. And once they step into the body, the flow starts. So I can tell them, I usually have a victim that they have their hands on that's willing to receive the healing. And I can tell when the flow starts. And once you know what it feels like, because I will say, okay, it's starting now, that's it. That's all you need to know. The rest is all done by the spirit. So you get into that state, you know what it feels like, you know what it feels to have the energy flowing. Next time you want to do it, it's very easy to do. I've had people saying you can't teach it that quickly, and you can. You can definitely teach it to anybody who brings that ability with them. And the reason is because they have practiced to use that ability for years before being born. They're not taught how to do it on the physical plane. Now, yes, you can go do a course and learn how to do it on the physical plane, but should you? No, not unless it's in your dreams and it's part of your life purpose. So let's have another dream. Sailor outfit, this is called. The dreamer says, I didn't write her name down. Courtney dressed as a sailor wearing large white circle earrings. I was staring at her earrings. And then she says, Courtney is the center director at my daughter's childcare center. She's very friendly. Okay, so I say that this dream means you are a clairaudient channel. And we know that from the earrings. Anything to do with the ear means that you can hear your spirits. For a lot of people, that works through hearing music, hearing lines of a song. But with practice, you can get it to where you're actually hearing your guides. Most people who have this ability also have another way of communication, so it's not the only one they have, but it's the first and easiest one sometimes for them. Then the sailor works at sea, so that backs up that it's a spiritual dream. It is about your gifts. The large circle earrings ask you to pursue your clairaudience as a goal, because circles in dreams represent goals. They can be other things, but in this dream, because it's a positive symbol and the circle is connected with the earring. And then we know that because the center director is a woman, it shows this is connected to working on your female side, and the director works with children, so you need to work on your childhood. And when I say work on your childhood, that's the obstacle, going back to the start of the show. That's the obstacle that this person needs to work on, deal with the issues around childhood, and once she deals with those, the gifts come in automatically. That's what happens 9 times out of 10. You just work on clearing the obstacle, and then your true nature shines. So you don't actually need to necessarily do channeling classes and so on, although there's nothing wrong with doing that as long as you go to the right place. because there are so many ways of channeling. You could actually be taught how to channel in a way that doesn't work for you. You really want to be tuned in and know that it's coming from the right place. So our next dream is from Rekha. She says, a blue and very adorable baby elephant lives on top of the shell of a turtle. You're already pulled in here, aren't you? The turtle is green and yellow, not a bright yellow, but yellow like dry grass at the end of summer. The elephant and the turtle are friends. The baby elephant lies on its back with its legs moving the way a baby's arms and legs move when they lie on their back and talk to their parents. It smiles and has its mouth open. Both the baby elephant and the turtle grow if you scratch or touch their tongues. The two friends become separated for some time, but they miss each other too much. The baby elephant's name is John. They're amazing detail in that dream, even the name of the elephant. So let me give you the meaning of a few symbols before I put all this together for you. Babies are about responsibility. They're something you cannot ignore. They are your job while they are in your care 24/7. An elephant means you pretend to have a thick skin, but in reality, you are very sensitive. You're easily hurt. And that, again, that comes from elephant skin being very, very sensitive. However, people do not know this about you. They don't think that you're very sensitive, or they don't think you're easily hurt because you hide it well. The green turtle, this is obviously, the obvious thing on the turtle is the shell. And this means that the dreamer has put a shell up around themselves or a wall around their heart to protect themselves. And this protection that would have happened at some point in the dreamer's life, and it would have been important because they were being emotionally hurt. And this was a way of dealing with that. But anyway, because it's there, we know that the dreamer has it and they still have it up. Most people, though, are unaware that they put this up because they have put it up for so long. Green is the color of the heart chakra, sticking with the symbols. Green is the color of the heart chakra, and it's healing for you in this dream. Then the dry yellow grass is almost dead, but all it needs is rainfall to turn back into luscious green grass full of life. So we have green again. Or it's telling you, to let life in, break down the wall, basically. Think of the plains of Africa. When the rain falls and grass returns, all life in the area is nourished. And this is significant for you. I point that out on purpose. And we'll come back to it. You say they grow when you touch their tongues. So let's break that down. Touch is the opposite of being in a shell or having a wall up. That's about letting people get close, open up, and share with others who you are, especially your feelings. Remove the wall around your heart that you put there to keep others away so you could avoid being hurt again. You were hurt in the past. This wall served a purpose at one time, but you no longer need it. Tongues are about expression, but in your case, expression of what? And we get that with the name John. And John is one of the writers of the New Testament, so this name signifies spiritual leadership. So that means that the dreamer is a spiritual leader. And I'll talk about that again in a second. Separated in dreams, this is to do with distancing yourself from your feelings. And that again is bringing us back to the protective wall again. So we have several things in the dream that say you need to work on issues around your heart. We have the green, we have the turtle shell, we have the separation being pointed out, and then we have the touch as well. There's probably others, but that'll do. So, Rekha, this dream states it is your responsibility to develop your spiritual leadership ability. Do what is needed to remove the protective wall you have up. It no longer serves you. You are sensitive for a reason. That sensitivity allows you to tune into people in a way that others can't. You know what people need. You know how to help them. Spiritual leadership works through female energy and requires an open and compassionate heart. Your sensitivity is also how you tune into your own divinity, which gives you the answers required to help others. These are not general answers. They are specific to the needs of who you are helping at the time. Your open heart allows you to listen without judgment. You don't come to the table with a prescribed solution. That wouldn't be female energy. You listen, you hear, you see where the person is, and you teach them how to solve their problem. You teach a person to fish so they never experience that hunger again. It's kind of what I'm doing here. I see you in the Avatar movie sense. I see you as you are. I tell you what I see and I tell you what you need to do. The biggest and most rewarding part of my work is actually helping people to do what their dreams say. What I find happens almost all the time is if I help someone remove their blocks, in your case, remove the wall by clearing the issues that caused you to put it there, the gift mentioned in the same dream, your spiritual leadership ability for you, simply manifests. I love the work I do, and when you do this, and I'm not even going to say if, but when you do this, you will love it too. Next one, we have a dream from Julie. She says, I'm standing with a group of people. It's raining and we all have umbrellas. All of them are black, including mine. A vendor, tries to give me a larger tan-coloured umbrella, but I don't think I need it. I already have one. But I am thankful to him for offering it to me. I tell him thank you with appreciation in my heart. I turn to leave. Another man tries to give me money. I don't want to take it. He says I should have it because I was so kind to the other man, but I really don't think I deserve it. I take it, but feel very uncomfortable doing so. Well, it's unusual to see umbrellas be positive in a dream. But I asked, because of this dream, and it's starting off with a group of people, that's about Julie's spiritual leadership ability, spiritual teaching ability. So I asked her if she had any business venture planned with an individual, because we see umbrellas in dreams. Rain in dreams represent life, and an umbrella protects you from rain, so it's not a positive symbol generally in a dream. It's about feeling the need to protect yourself from life. But with regard to the spiritual ability is what we see here. And so it's a black umbrella, so we know it's fears that caused Julie to hold back. She has this gift in spades, but she just holds back out of fear. And somebody wants to swap the black umbrella for a tan, larger umbrella. Now, brown in dreams is the color of practicality. So it's like somebody else is coming along and saying, hey, if you get into business with me, that will give you a sense of protection that's practical. And that's what the brown is about. It's practical, and it's going to work in a way that, trying to do things out of fear is not going to do. She doesn't take that umbrella, but then somebody else tries to give her money. And so it's those two things together that made me say she's meant to be working, using her spiritual leadership ability, involving groups. And what she said about, when I asked her, does somebody want her to get into business? She said, I haven't really had anyone offer anything like that. But then she describes something that is that. She said, my business is very small, lot more like a side business. I do have a friend that wants to collaborate with me, but he lives far from me. And we've had several chats sharing ideas. She says, I want to start putting myself out into the community more. I want to do group crystal healing sessions, teaching, and meetups, etc. But when I think about doing it by myself, I have fear there. It feels very alone. So we see from what she's saying, it matches what the dream was saying with the black umbrella. I'm not sure why. I'm normally an independent person, but the thought of working with my friend does feel better and safer, and that's why it's a tan umbrella in the dream. If we were closer to each other, we would probably run the business together. But I'm thinking maybe I'm supposed to do this on my own. It just feels very lonely that way. And, I would say that it's going to work for you either way. The dream, because we have such a positive symbolism of the umbrellas, I would say it's like it is okay, at least initially, to work with somebody else if it's going to allow you to put yourself out there. And that might be becoming to you because you've probably known this for years and you haven't really done this. So something has got to push you out the door and get you doing what you want to do. But it's a good dream, very positive encouragement, even though in the dream the symbolism has some fears. Almost all dreams are going to have that. So our next one is from Daryl. He says, I'm feeling pretty puzzled about this one. Okay. I've just boarded a plane to Southern California. I'm seated on the right side of the plane with a young blonde-haired woman between myself and the window. So this is a bit of a longer dream, so I'll explain it as we go along. Blonde-haired woman is a guide, and the window represents your connection with your guides. So you have a strong intuition that you're meant to use in order to connect with your guides. Blonde hair represents purity of thoughts, which is why it represents guides. The window is really big. And that's really good. So this is saying that's why I said your ability is strong. Right after we get moving, it looks like the water level is rising. Now, water in this context is good because it's about your spirituality. I get a little alarmed and think we're sinking. I look closer to see it's a blowhole to a really large black whale. Whales in dreams represent channeling. So it's saying that you have the ability to channel your guides, like I already just said. But the black here is the same as the last dream. it says that you have fears about doing that. So you need to overcome those fears. And it continues on. Wait a minute, it's actually a submarine and it looks like the one from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. The sub submerges again and I calm down until it happens again. And I go through the same thought process as if it didn't happen the first time. And that's, so again, this is just saying, look, so you've thought about getting this channeling working before and you had fears about it and then you let it go below the surface, just like the sub. And it's come up again recently and it's something you are meant to do. But the submarine also indicates that you've got this ability to work in the spiritual field because that's what a sub lets us do. Whales are mammals, air-breathing mammals just like us, and indicate that that you have the ability to go into the spirit world and survive, get messages and come back. And the sub is going to indicate the same thing. Now you have a few other things. I'm going to kind of skip by them. You say there's another plane that's white with a red stripe and several other vehicles. So that's really good. The red and white as a color combination is fantastic. It means it's an encouragement. It's saying, look, really do this. It's just going to work for you. There's no reason not to do it. You also mentioned that you're leading a ragtag convoy of vehicles. And so again, the leading says you have spiritual leadership ability. So these are all going to come in together. Your intuition, your strong intuition that allows you to connect with your higher self, your channeling and your leadership. Anyway, we'll leave that one there. But that's a really good one there. So I want to remind you how to get in touch with the show. Remember, if you want your dream analyzed, go to dream-analysis.com/kknw. Fill in the form and submit your dream to the show. That's it. That's all you have to do. If I ask you to come on air and you do, you get a bonus private session with me. If you're interested in that, the steps are the same. Go to dream-analysis.com/kknw. Fill in the form and submit your dream to the show. And for those of you who just want to follow along, go to dream-analysis.com and enter your email address to receive my free dictionary with thousands of entries so you can analyze your own dreams. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen, and a huge thank you to the people who sent dreams to me. Without your dreams, this show would not be possible. Until next week, I'm Michael Sheridan.